afternoon. Welcome to the monthly group coaching for the Money Mastery Accelerator. So this month, again, it's a bright Sunday. I hope you guys are doing fine. So type a 1 at the chat box if you guys are doing well. Okay, 1. Okay, all right. Thank you, all the ones. Okay, how's everybody going? If you guys are doing well and is ready, this month we are going to touch on a very interesting topic. Okay, can you guys see me? If you guys can see me and hear me, also please type a 1 at chat box so I know that you guys can hear me and see me over here. So this month we are talking about the FIRE, financial independent and retire early. This is going to be a very interesting workshop. I hope you guys can really master the skills and move on to the life that you wanted. All right, if you guys are ready, please type at the chat box ready. All right, type at chat box ready. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, I think many of you have heard of this terminology called FIRE many times, especially during the 3 days workshop that I had with you 1 year ago. Well, I've been talking about a lot of people basically opted this kind of new lifestyle. So actually, what is this financially independent and retire early? Today, we are going to touch on this area. Let me show you what are we going to go through this particular session is. First, I will talk to you about what is this FIRE movement all about, and from there, how does the FIRE movement work in practice. And there are many types of FIRE, a category of FIRE that you can adopt to. And lastly, work out on calculating your own FIRE number and approach to acquire this status. Of course, before we end, we have to also talk about the common challenges and pitfalls so that we avoid all this. All right, are you guys ready? Let's move on. Okay, this terminology FIRE, I think we're talking about financially independent and retire early. It is actually rooted, I guess, around the era 2000. Yeah, 2000. It's talk about having enough money that is self-generated or income generated from asset or even saving to cover your living expenses, and from there you don't need to work anymore. A lot of people those days they've been talking about, oh, okay, when I retire I'll do this, when I retire I'll do that. Now the retirement age in Malaysia is around 60. I'm not sure as time goes by will increase to 62 or 65. Our neighbor country Singapore has increased from 65 to 68 if I'm not mistaken. So you can imagine, maybe when the time comes to your age, you want to retire, oh, now the new retirement age could be 65 or 68. So you have to keep on working. Yeah. So those days people talk about retire, after that only pursue the thing that they want or the dreams that they want. But something comes along with that is that, yes, maybe by then you would have enough money, but you would be lagging in terms of your energy, lagging in terms of the drive, right? So why wait? We may not be physically fit to do a lot of work that we want to do. Hence, a lot of people talk about, all right, why not retire early? Now, this movement talking about having retire at the age of 40s or 50s so that we don't have to adhere to the old school thinking. Yeah, we have to work, and only later enjoy the life that we want. In fact, we can build our asset up to a certain level. Once we are at that level, then we can actually opt not to work for money, but work for our passion, work for the dreams that we want. That's why this FIRE movement is all about. And yes, I may talk about, yes, this particular movement come about in the era of 2000, especially I would say mooted by those IT people. They've been working day and night. So with that high pay that they have, someone come up with the idea, hey, why not we work for a couple of years, acquire enough money, and from there, of course, live the life they want. To do that, of course, we have to have few strategy. First is to invest wisely, a high percentage of our income. That is for sure. You cannot make this amount of money and spend that amount of money. You have to actually keep a high percentage at the side, and of course, not only save but invest. Yeah, invest whereby the investment can generate income for you. Once you notice this particular fund, the pool, that you've been putting aside to invest reach a point whereby it can generate a steady stream of income for you, especially to cover your living expenses, that is a time whereby you have now reached the FIRE, I would say, status. Then from there, you can opt to continue to work, or you can opt to actually pursue your passion projects, right? Then you just do part-time jobs, yeah, and yeah, maybe even to enjoy life, right? So that is what this is all about. Now, is it easy or difficult? Well, I would say there are approaches you have to follow. Right? I think I've been talking about very importantly few things here. I think first thing first, you need to have the saving mechanics. What is that? We have to save, yeah. We have to save aggressively, and from there, using the money not only save but put into investment, whereby riding on the compound interest, and from there generate this passive income. And from there, after you generated this pool of I would say income that can cover your basic expenses, you need to now adopt a different strategy that is called the safe withdrawal rules. How to actually slowly take out the money so that you can enjoy the money that you created and sustain the FIRE. Alright, let's us move on into the detail. Alright, now the mechanics of saving basically talk about saving high percentage of your income. You need to save aggressively, that's for sure. How much is considered aggressive? Easily 50 to 70% of our income. Yeah, we have to scale down our expenses. We have to live below our means. Yeah, we have to maintain a frugal lifestyle. That's why you notice those who made it, they've been sharing with you, they may not buy new cars or don't even buy a car. They just opt for public transport so that they can save up a huge amount of money. Some even don't buy a house, but they rent one. Reason is they wouldn't want to tie their money down for 20 years loan, 30 years loan, but in fact live below their means. They perhaps wouldn't want to live a lifestyle whereby buying gadgets, changing every time a new model comes out. They've been withholding their gratification, yeah. So, and also invest wisely, whereby place the money that's saved into a investment vehicle that generate passive income and can compound over time. So that is one very interesting thing. First thing first, high saving rate. Then low expenses. We need to maintain a very frugal lifestyle, minimum spending. Whenever we buy something, we have to think twice. Ask yourself, first thing first, do we really need it? Right? If you can postpone this purchase decision for 2 days, then you rethink, hey, now, do I need it anymore? Maybe then you don't think you need this particular item anymore. Then it's okay, move on, right? The third one is, as I mentioned, we have to invest wisely. Strategic investment. We have to focus on the asset that can provide passive income. Yeah, passive income. What are those kind of investment vehicle? I think we've been talking about a lot. Real estate being one, whether it's the physical one or the REITs. Physical one means you generate rental income for you, and for REITs, the dividend. Yeah, likewise dividend stocks. I think I've been talking about a lot regarding dividend stocks. So that will be also something that you may want to really plan and not put it into the kind of asset that have high, I would say, upfront charges. I think I share with you, whenever we invest, we need to relook at what is the upfront charges before you invest. If it's too high, then it's not worth. Example, what's the point to invest in a vehicle give you 8% of return, but the upfront charges could be 5-6%? Leave it to the balance will be only 1+% for you. So there's no point doing that, right? So very strategically learn how to participate directly into the strategic investment. Right? So that is the first thing, the saving mechanics. Now come to the second one. I think it's tied down with what we mentioned about running on a compound interest, the passive income that generate, then put it back into investment, reinvest again. Because whatever interest or dividend that yields for you, you cannot spend it. You need to put back to the vehicle and repurchase even more units so that you can now ride on the compound interest effect to generate passive income. So that is very, very important. I think I share with you as well, be it bond, stocks, real estates, yeah. You have to reinvest back, yeah. Don't spend the money and put back the money. Now, after you accumulated enough money, then from there, and passive income can cover your monthly basic expenses. Now, the third point is you need to learn the withdrawal mechanics, safe withdrawal rate. Let me introduce to you this particular item called 4% rule. Type a chat box you have if you have ever heard of this 4% rule. Yeah, type a chat box. Okay, some of you really have heard of it. Good. Now, this 4% rule is a very, I would say, popular or famous worldwide rule. Refer to the retirement strategy. Yeah, for those in the FIRE community. Is it practical? Some debates say yes, some debates say no, but it's a good point for you to start off with, right? Good point to start with. So, what is this 4% rule? Basically, it is popularized after a study called Trinity Study in the 1998, almost the 2000 era, which based on then the historical stock and bond market, the data, the types of return, the yield. So, in a nutshell, the study shown that okay, if a retiree invests in bond and stock markets, right, if they only withdraw 4% each year from the portfolio they have annually, of course, subject to also annual adjustment on the inflation, this person can likely use this money for the next 30 years. For example here, if you have 1 million, let me quote dollar, $1 million, and then you plan to withdraw 4% first time for the year you are in FIRE, that's 40,000. Of course, based on the assumption here, inflation 3%. So second year, of course, is 4,000 plus another 1,002. So 41200. So there's 41,200 for the second year. So every year there is an inflation adjustment there, so that you are living according to the inflation. So you wouldn't be having to scale down. Yeah, you just maintain the lifestyle. And of course, the balance of the money after you take out the 40K in the first year is put into the investment that yield a 5% kind of return. If this continue to run, basically these 1 million funds that you have can last you for 33 years. So this is the 4% rule is all about. Yeah, 4% rule is all about. So it is very good in terms of someone retire at the age of assume 50, then easily this particular 1 million can last a person until age 83, right? So something about this that concept 4% rule. Of course, you may tell me that, oh, I think I may outlive 83. Yes. Then, of course, the debate is the inflation, the our life expectancy, all this. If we were to put into consideration, the 4% rule may not be so practical. So some may say, why not do a 3% instead of 4%? Then the fund can last longer, right? So like vice versa, you may want to put more than 1 million example before you start the journey. Then can also help you to prolong this fund, right, for a couple of years. So anyway, 4% is a good benchmark for you to start with, right? So later we'll move on into if I would choose to retire, how much money do I need? The 4% rule is also a very good, I would say, benchmark for you to work backwards to calculate the amount of money you need, right? Now, before we move on, of course, talk about so much on FIRE and then how does it work. Do you know there are a couple types of FIRE that you can adopt to, right? Let me share with you. The next is the different types of FIRE that you can choose from. I will say today I will introduce you 5 different types of FIRE. Bear in mind, there's a $1 million. So if you convert to Ringgit Malaysia, it could be 4 over million, right? So some of us here may say, oh, for me to wait until I got 4 million in my retirement fund, God's no. maybe when I retire at age 60, I also wouldn't have 4 million. So how to have early retire, right? Yes, that's why I want to introduce you. There are different levels of FIRE, different types of FIRE that you can adopt. Different type give you different choices, right? So basically, we wouldn't want to be fixated that, oh, it's only when we have $1 million then we can retire and have FIRE lifestyle. No, there are many types of FIRE you can adopt to. So depend on what you want, right? Let's move on. Okay, the first one is called coast FIRE. This is means, right, a person, right, who actually achieve enough money to cover their retirement. Example, I'm now age 40, example, and I know that, oh, in my EPF, if I'm Malaysian, then for my age 60, when I can withdraw 100% my EPF until age 85, the next 25 years, if my EPF is sufficient to cover the 25 years when I retire, when I can withdraw from EPF, now when I'm age 40, maybe from age 40 to age 60, I can opt to actually go for coast FIRE. That means I still need to work. The only thing is I have already saved enough money to cover my retirement portion in the future. Now, I can continue to choose to work in my current job, right? But without aggressive saving for retirement. Or I can opt for peace of mind, right? That means I can opt for a job that has a lesser stress because I know in the future I'm covered. So long I can cover my cost of living now, and most importantly, I must be debt free. I don't have to pay for anything. So I can basically retire now and do the job I want or do the work that I like. Perhaps scale down my lifestyle, and from there, I don't have to pay much for my commitment. And I know when I reach age 60, I have EPF to cover the rest of my life. I'm okay. For the next 20 years, I can do what I like. Right? Or I can continue to work happily in the same company, but without the stress, with the stress of having to build more aggressively, without the stress to actually work harder to climb the corporate ladder, whatnot. So you can do a very it's like coast along, a relaxing kind of lifestyle. So many people, they will say this is the first level they would like to think of, clearing all the debts so they're debt free and they have enough saving in the EPF for their retirement. Sort of a couple 20 years from now until 60, maybe I just coast along and wouldn't need to work very hard. So that would be something that for you to ponder. Perhaps some of you have already reached this standard, the coast FIRE standard, and actually you know that for the next 25 years after retirement you have enough money. Now meanwhile, just coast along. All right, so this is the first level. The second level is called barista FIRE. What does it mean? That means this particular individual has already saved enough money, right? Not only for the retirement, as we mentioned, age 60 and above, but also to cover the current basic living expenses, right? But the person needs to continue to work part-time to cover the discretionary spending, or maintain the example insurance, whatnot. Example, you know that you are debt free now, you don't have to pay for house or car, right? Perhaps now your discretionary expenses is only your food, utilities and whatnot. So you may choose, if you find the corporate is too hectic for you, maybe I can just choose to do some part-time job. That's what they call barista. You just work at the coffee shop as a barista on hourly basis, daily basis, and earn some money just to pay some utilities, just to pay for some food costs. Then your life is fine. Then other time you can choose to be, example, the artist, to really work on your art, music and whatnot. You can just go on to do your passion project. So this is something that you may want to consider, right? Because you have already set aside certain investment that can generate some passive income, and the passive income can really help you to cover some of the costs. The other balance, you just work part-time, right? Now, how much is enough before you want to decide to become a barista FIRE person? The rule of thumb here is 33 times of your annual expenses, right? 33 times of your annual expenses. That means you have next 33 years of expenses cover, yeah. Then you're good, right? You're good. You have the buffer to help you to, I would say, soften some of your burden, yeah, so that you can really move on into your passion project. So barista will be the next level if you want to consider. All right. Now, some of us, right, may want to opt for a lean fire. This is a way we can accelerate the fire, yeah. That means instead of waiting for a couple more years to go, then one of the way is, okay, let's rethink about ourselves. First, of course, we have to really save enough money, yeah, to cover basic living expenses. But on top of that, can I cut down further? Can I opt for a very frugal living? Maybe scaling down to 60 or 80% of current standard of living. Example, if your current household expenses is about 5,000 a month, example, can you go down to 3,000? Can you go down to 4,000 plus, right? So the more you can scale down, a more frugal life, that means the faster you can accumulate money to generate the passive income. And from there, you can actually now already choose not to work and retire early, right? That is one thing for sure. But you may ask, in Malaysia, how much is this? One of the surveys shown here is the average money expenses in Malaysia is about 8,000 in urban city, yeah, 8,000. So if you can reduce your expenses to 4,008 to 6,004 per month, yeah, then it could be a standard you want to try. Then you can accelerate your fire process faster because you have more money now putting into the investment and to generate the passive income, and the amount of capital you need to generate your living expenses is all scaled down to 4,008 to 6,004. So that in this case, in both way, more money put into the particular vehicle to generate passive income, and you don't need that high. Now you scale down your lifestyle. So now or within a few years, you can actually opt for fire already, right? So this is called a lean fire. Of course, you may ask me whether this is a good move or not. It's all depend on your objective. If your objective is to really do things that you love and wouldn't want to work anymore, and you don't mind, trim down your cost of living or trim down some of your unnecessary expenses, be very frugal, then it would be one of the way we choose our lifestyle, right? You don't have to compare with people, keep changing cars or houses or buying certain branded items. We just wear simple clothing, eat simple food, having simple lifestyle. That should be one way. I come across a lot of people opting for fire, especially using lean fire as the benchmark because they don't have to wait perhaps to go to the normal $1 million standard. It will take me many more years to go. But if I opt for a lean fire, maybe but at a very early age, some of them already can have this particular lifestyle. All right, so that will be one way, lean fire. Next is of course the regular fire, which we mentioned about just now. Yeah, initial cost that you need. Then of course once you have enough money generated to cover your monthly expenses, then off you go. Right now, of course you may ask, what is the particular number we need to have? Bear in mind just now, lean is to scale down the lifestyle. I think in Malaysia, I think our lifestyle monthly expenses could be around 5 to 10K per month. Yeah, so we need to make sure the passive income generated can cover this kind of thing. Yeah, let's say 8,000 in the urban city. So you need to have the particular mathematic calculated if you remember the 4% rule just now. So knowing that we need to have 8,000 standard of living times 12 months is 96K. If we divide by 4%, so you need to have a 2.4 million ringgit Malaysia in hand to generate that kind of income, right? So that is where a comfortable lifestyle for regular fire. Now, next is a fat fire. Some of us may be having high income, yeah, why not? Why not instead of just a regular one, you can also offer fat fire, whereby you actually have more than enough, right? More money to maintain a more comfortable lifestyle with plenty of cushion, right? And this cushion maybe for unexpected expenses or even sometimes for luxuries, right? So fat fire actually invite us take a thinking that it's not because of material possession, yeah, but we may want to think of, right, sometime uh some of us maybe we can opt for early retirement, but we still need to raise child or children, right? That's why you need fat fire work figure so that you can cover the expenses of children. Maybe you want to have a traveling or vacation in mind after your early retirement. So the fat fire is the extra portion, the luxury portion, whereby you still have, example, one trip a year to overseas or whatnot, right? And sometimes we may want to retire in a city that is more expensive or higher cost instead of staying in Malaysia for your early retirement. Maybe you want to have a retirement in example in other country, maybe it's in Europe or overseas, yeah, that is cost higher, right? Or maybe you still have some loved one to take care of, like your parent. That's why you need to have a fat fire budget so that you can take care of them as well. So fat fire is also another number you may want to consider, right? So it will take longer, yes, definitely. It will take longer for us to reach that. But of course, at the same time, we may also adopt a different approach whereby a more aggressive income generation strategy. Save more, invest in higher yield vehicle. Okay, taking some risk. All right, so that will be the 5 types of fire I want to share with you. Now, I've shared with you just now regarding the number, right? How much do you need? Now, based on our Malaysian standard, is about 8,000 per month cost of living. So it's 96,000 per annum, right? Living in urban city in Malaysia. If based on this number, I work out for you as a reference. If you want to adopt a coast fire, that means you need to have now, once you reach about 1.3 million in hand in terms of cash, in terms of investment, then you know that, all right, my future retirement is there, so I don't have to take care. Good. Now you can go for your course, working in a more relaxed manner, opting for a job that's not so pressure and not need to climb the corporate ladder. So that could be a coast fire figure at the bottom. That is 1.3 million. So that could be something that you may want to consider. That is about 25 to 50% of the regular fire number. If you want to go for barista fire, you need to have easily 2 million in, less than 2 million, about 2 million in terms of portfolio that can generate sufficiently to cover your basic expenses, but you still need to work part-time. That's why for barista and coastal or coast fire, you cannot not working. You need to continue working. You cannot stop working because you still need to have the part-time job or the full-time job if you're coast fire to cover your expenses. So these two at the bottom, you still need to work. Now, once you reach the lean fire in Malaysian standard is about 2.5 million, you'll be able to cover you, I would say, frugally your cost of living, right? So this is something that you may opt for, and in this case, you can choose not to work anymore and just focus on enjoying your life or your passion project. So that is where we talk about the lean fire. Of course, to have a very comfortable regular fire, you need about 3.2 million in your portfolio. And for fat fire, you need to have 20% more. So it's around maybe slightly around 3.8 to 4 million. That will be more comfortable. All right. So this is something that I want you to in your mindset, right? How I can progressively move myself up. Maybe now you have already acquired 1.3 million in terms of portfolio. So you may know that, another 700 more to go. Then by then, if I reach this, I'll be moving into barista. And if I go on to 2.5, then I can now start to retire and live a frugal life, having the lean fire. So this is an indication for you to know that how fast, how soon I can generate and then I can offer different types of FIRE. All right, so this is something that for you to take a look. All right, now I just pause here for a while and see anyone got any question. No, okay, good. All right, now I've calculated for you, right? But this is based on the urban 8,000 ringgit. Of course, more practically is you need to calculate your own FIRE number, yeah, your own FIRE number. The same templates I would say, yeah, first thing first is to determine what types of FIRE you want to achieve. I think if you want to fall back to what I share with you, is still considered good enough. If 8,000 is a standard, then this is going to be the table you should follow. All right. Example, if I were to place Barista 2 million or Lean 2.5, so this is something like a basic benchmark we need to set, right? So let's put down here. After you know that, okay, Lean and Barista is 2.5 and 2 million, around that range, first step is to determine the number. Second step is, all right, I know you may say that, wow, it's so huge, forget about it. No, you shouldn't. Yeah, actually there are much more things you can do or you can control. Right, what is that? Now, step 2 is looking at the frugal, the lean FIRE. Right, if we were to achieve that, definitely there are ways that we can now look at where can I cut back on my expenses. Maybe we need to plot down based on our expenses, the fixed as discretionary expenses. Fixed means our home, mortgage loan, whatnot, the maintenance fee, our motor vehicle, hire purchase. Then the discretionary can be the family living expenses, the child or pet expenses, or transportation expenses, credit cards, insurance, right? Business expenditure, self-education, leisure, and also festive. Look at all this area. Plot down how much you are spending now. From there, let's consider, right? Knowing that where your money is going first, right? Now identify the areas that you want to cut back. From there, let's look at what can you cut back. Maybe unnecessary eating. We eat out a lot. Maybe we adopt some self-cooking. Yeah, maybe you cut down instead of all the days eating out. Maybe we have 3 days in a row in a week cooking. Yeah, or prep meals. We can cook it on Sunday. We can just have a prep meal for the next couple of days. Just sandwiching between eating out and eating in, right? So maybe you can cut down your food costs a lot, right? Perhaps you have a tendency to enjoy shopping, so whatnot. Maybe you just cut down on your shopping list, right? And again, reduce debt soonest. I've been talking a lot in terms of credit cards, compounding interest. Yep. Try to cut down on that. And also looking at your hire purchase for your car and also your mortgage. Is there any way you can cut down by switching into, example, instead of fixed home loan, maybe a flexi loan could be better, so you can put more money to reduce the burden, the interest amount you pay to the bank, and in the long run maybe you can cut short and become debt free very soon. So that's something that's very important, how to get yourself out from debt as soon as possible. Then again, after you find out the amount of money you can save now, you have to now allocate aggressively a significant amount of your income towards, I would say, investment, saving and investment. You have to think about what you need to do, right, with that. So please think about that. Of course, to help you to actually cut down in terms of your spending, you may want to have a budget, set a budget or create a budget to limit yourself the amount that you can only use for example, for the month, for the week, right? And also prioritize debt repayment so that you don't need to pay unnecessary compound interest because of the late payment, right? Always remember snowball or our launch method to get the get the debts cleared as soon as possible. Also not forgetting, it could be necessary to increase your income. Is there any way to earn extra a bit. Example, for those of you who can earn overtime, perhaps working extra in your company could be one way. It could be looking for an alternative way to earn extra income. Yeah, so something that you need to really use that money, extra income, to put into investment or to settle your loans. Yeah, and always negotiate interest rates for your lender, whether it's for hire purchase or a housing loan, and see whether is there any way to lower down further. All right, and most importantly, stop using credit card to incur more new debts already. Right, you need to know that if it's not necessary, I would not need to buy that, I wouldn't buy. Right, so always think twice. Ask yourself, can I afford it, and then is it necessary to have it, right, before any purchase decision. Right, so this one way, knowing your resources, and then remember you have to squeeze more drops so that the money can be put into investment. Right, so that will be the knowing your resources. Step 3, invest to build your passive income. For the past months, we've been talking about many different types of investment vehicles. Right, I think I've been talking about especially a lot of low cost, high return asset, which is for the long run. Focus on this. I'm not sure whether you remember. Just share with me what you remember regarding some of the particular items that low cost, high return asset classes that we've spoken about. Right? Anyone? Okay. Yes. You're right. Some of you would have remember ETFs, right? Some of you would have remember the dividend share for long run. Yeah. Okay. And don't forget, diversify your portfolio and rebalance your portfolio regularly. Right. So that's where we learn the ABCD. And again, the bottom few will be I think the assets strategy that you need to consider. Investing in index fund, whether it's index fund or the ETF, that is what we refer to just now, right? Because it gives you high liquidity and low cost for long-term growth. Dividend paying shares or bond is also another asset class, high liquidity and regular income generation, yeah, from the coupon or dividend provided. Then real estate, yeah, whether physical or REITs, both also can give you a steady stream of income. And again, not forgetting building and a business, a side business could be additional stream income for you, right? So this is something that you may want to consider when it comes to the third step, right? Putting the money wisely into the investment. Now, after that, maximizing income, right? Maximizing income. This is something that maybe we have least spoken about. Well, I think it's timely for those of you who actually want to opt for early retirement. Increasing your earning potential is very important. That means you need to perhaps go for higher paying jobs or start a side hustle at the side. Yeah, many people, I would say, could be quite loyal to work for a company for a long time, but based on experience in the Malaysian employment market, jumping to another company, acquiring a higher position, likewise also able to give you a higher income growth compared to working in the same company and wait for the promotion. I think sometime moving to another company, you can demand for easily 25 to 30% kind of increment, right? That could be something that you may want to consider, right? Of course, maximum income also means that not earn more, spend more. You may want to even live below your means or maintain your standard of living despite your income is getting higher, right? Always review, right, your expenses, and always review how to live within your means so that you can squeeze more money and help you to invest in those assets that can generate passive income, right? Then, that passive income generating asset will be another one we've spoken again and again. You need to find this asset that give you this, yeah, not putting into the bank FD that can be eroded by inflation, right? And another thing, right? Consider geographic arbitrage, right? That means you can move to a lower cost of living area, right? Example, some of the people they may want to choose to work in a regional basis. Example, once you are in the regional, maybe your income is in terms of US dollar, paid in US dollar, but you may want to choose to stay in country like Thailand, work in Thailand, work in Indonesia. Example, I think the cost is still relatively lower than Malaysia, despite you are now getting a higher income, but you are spending in a lower standard of living kind of country. Yeah, even some can be working in Cambodia for a new setup. This could be one area that you may want to consider, right? The very important fact is getting higher income and but spending lower. Maybe perhaps the perks of this job cover, example, your accommodation, they provide accommodation allowance, maybe they provide you certain housing, I would say benefits. So this could be the one that you can just use the money. Example, you don't need to buy any property in that country, but you use the money now just to rent a moderate location, moderate I would say accommodation, and use the balance to subsidize or cross subsidize your Malaysian house so that you can clear off your debts as soon as, right? So this could be something like that you can consider, right? Now, after you do that, very importantly, you still need to have a very strong view, very strong view, because I would say it is not easy. It's not easy to stay focused. Yeah, if you cannot remember what you want to. Example, if you really want to move into lean fire, that means you want to scale down your cost of living now, and you may need to really accept the fact that you need to be frugal. So social media, sometimes the posting of your friends going overseas, having fun time in a certain restaurant, which if you view it comparatively, you are actually not living a decent life, right? So you need to now stay clear of what you really want. Write it down, write or go down, so that you always remind yourself, I'm living frugally, not because I'm poor, not because I'm poor, not because I don't earn enough, because it's my choice to opt for financially independent and retire early. So I am suffering a bit now, not to enjoy too much, right? But I have the freedom that I wanted to at the end of the day, versus someone who day in day out work hand to mouth, and the only enjoyment is to spend money at restaurant, and they have to now keep serving the employment and whatnot. So maybe you get yourself very clear what you want, the intention, right? So first thing first, that's how to stay disciplined, right? Second thing is automate your finance. We've spoken about you need to save and invest high portion of your money now, your income now, to the income generating asset or investment. How to do it? If you do it manually, you likely will not remember. So one of the ways is to have automated system in place, automated process in place, whereby perhaps every month end, when the salary comes into the account, is already automatically deducted and funnel or channel to the investment account that you opted to. So you now left with only this X amount smaller portion of the income for you to survive. So save before spend approach that can help you to stay disciplined. Then control your spending, as I mentioned just now. Create a budget. Not only create a budget, but also track your progress. Whether, example, if I were to have to spend example 1,500 per month, that is about 50 ringgit a day on food, example 3 meals. So you may want to have some apps that can help you to track your spending, whether my 3 meals a day add up, whether it's within the 50 ringgit or not, example, and whether for the past let's say 20 days, am I on track, right? And if you can really live below your means for for the first 29 days, perhaps the last one day you have more money, so you can treat yourself a good meals there. So you need to now be sidetracked and also create small wins to celebrate, right? So that you can stay motivated. Example. So one of the ways is to track it, and when you achieve, example, I know I got 1,500 to use for a month. So if I have the last day balance is 100 ringgit, then I can go for a good treat, right? Instead of just keep myself within the 50 ringgit lifestyle. So there's something that I may want to advise all of you. Okay, any questions so far regarding this? No? Okay, good. Right, as I mentioned, yes, these are the 5 steps that can help you to basically build a FIRE lifestyle. Of course, there are a lot of challenges and pitfall again with this FIRE thinking. Of course, I have the obligation to share with you as well. Now, first, one thing is we cannot discount this thing called lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation. What is that? What is lifestyle inflation? Something that sometimes we need to control ourselves, right? Prevent the temptation to increase our spending. This materialistic world that we are living in, right? Now iPhone 16 just came out, and yeah, do I want to offer this AI assisted phone or just keep using my old junk now? Maybe some of us may think, oh, I may want to improve it a bit on my lifestyle, and hence in this case you already committed to spend more, right? Maybe eating more healthily. The word more healthily can be a different meaning. Can be eating more certain ingredient that can be added into your cost of living as well. So that is something that we may want to think of, right? So we need to now be careful, or having a good increment. So I need to at least show that I am now at a different level of life now. I need to show people that I improve, so I have to increase a bit. So that actually, in fact, a little bit adjustment here and there can actually set us off course, right? So one thing. Second thing at the bottom is market volatility. So yes, there's always ups and downs in the market in terms of I would say investment performance. Maybe for some of you, maybe for the past 1 or 2 years, the US market have been rally, so we look at the investment is tend to be good. But recently, I think the Fed announced a rate cut of 50 basis point. So 50 basis point maybe slow down a bit on in terms of the US investment. Maybe some of the investment vehicle that we are having now also may experience a slowdown. So the return may not be as projected, and maybe sometime the pathway towards FIRE is being affected. So yeah, that could happen as well. But bear in mind, it's always ups and downs of life. Just do more preparation and have more diversification. When you have the allocated correctly, then you would be able to write out from the stock, right? Now, another thing is healthcare costs. One of the things that people may not plan is actually the healthcare cost. Yeah, we always plan for early retirement, but as we grow older, I think we also need to set aside certain I would say budget in terms of medical, whether for maintenance or for treatment. So sometimes in terms of our FIRE planning, we may not plan this at a very early age, but when we come into an older age and we want to offer early retirement, we notice, oh, now I got to spend more money. Example, medical card, medical insurance has increased a lot recently, so that also could be one of the factors that we have to have budgeted for. That's why the FIRE would be one area we want to think of instead of just the normal one, example, the regular one, right? Then last is maintaining motivation, right? I think just now we mentioned about there are a lot of distraction that can set us off course. So we need to actually maintain the momentum. Always write down what we really want. If we don't know what we really want, we may not be able to sustain this particular act for long, right? Because human being, we tend to compare ourselves with others. If my neighbor is having the new model of car, now people talking about EV, right? Electric vehicle. I'm still driving old junk, right? So I may want to think of, oh, I want to save the earth as well, and want to upgrade myself to EV. Of course, buying a new car means you need to have extra, I would say, uh, outlay of money, and also the commitment regularly for the next, I don't know, 5, 7, 9 years. And from this particular monthly installment, it taken again our allocation for uh, fire saving. So in this case, maybe it will derail us. So we need to maintain motivated. What I'm doing is for myself, for my future, right? And not to be distracted by the environment. So that is something that we may want to always maintain motivated. Perhaps looking for people in the same fire community, looking out for them and have a regular meetup. So that is a community support that you need to have, right? And also to discuss or to share with them some of your concerns or your situation. Maybe they also can share with you the countermeasures so that you know, oh yeah, food cost is increasing tremendously. My lifestyle being affected. Even I want to stay on frugal, but I can't because everything increased. So what? Maybe they could have some idea for you to share with, so that you know, oh yeah, I can adopt this particular idea to actually help myself to maintain that kind of lifestyle. And perhaps they have even some investment tips for you to know that, oh, maybe these are more I would say options for you to think of in terms of having passive income generation, right? So you need to have a community to support you, so look for the community, right? Okay, I will just pause here for a while and see anyone got any question. Okay, no, that is good. Well, just to summarize what we learned today, right? What we learned today is to talk about a very interesting topic called fire, right? Bear in mind, you may think that I love my job very much, I love my career very much, I don't want to go for early retirement. It's fine as well. It's fine as well. But what I want to share with you is that you have options in life. You have options in life. Whether if you enjoy what you do now, you can continue doing it, right? And you no need to go for early retirement. But if otherwise, you may want to do the things that you want, right? And you know that doing the things that I want may not be able to churn that amount of money. Then you may want to think of, okay, do I need to set aside money so I can be at least financially freer so that I can do things that I want. So in this case, maybe the fire movement was something that you may want to think of, right? So this particular topic is to let you know that you have options in life. If you have money that is good enough to support your lifestyle, basically you can go all out to pursue your dream and don't even care about generating income anymore, because you can now have control over the time, how much you will spend your time with. So this is what the fire movement is all about, having more control over the time that you have, right, to do the things that you want without people commanding you what to do, right? So that's where I think that is where this is what the objective of this fire movement is all about, right? Having independence, having control in your hand, right? So if you have no more further question, thank you for the time, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.